Let's look at the papers. Okay, so front pages of the newspapers. Mail and Guardian is up first. So, do you want to take it?
Minister under siege, and this, of course, the Minister of Social Development, CCC Tolashe. So the Mail and Guardian goes into that story in some detail. And if you've been following this story, you would know that over the past few weeks, there's been so much going on. It started, of course, with Lunka Ulifant, and she was suspended, I think, and then there was revelations. She came out and she spoke out against what she believed was unfair treatment, and then, of course, it all spiraled. The next best thing, there were messages, alleged WhatsApp message screenshots that were appearing on social media platforms, and now the Mail and Guardian looking into the story and saying Minister under siege there, CCC Tolashe. And then a sex-based teacher, victim's mom speaks on this matter. Also, Mkunu faces the heat in Parliament, and Zilla's not fit to lead Joburg, and Kenya mourns Raila Odinga. That's the front page of today's Mail and Guardian.
Yeah, very interesting scenes coming out of Kenya as the nation mourns. All right, let's move to the business day now, and I'll grab that one over there. So, Premier RFG mix whets appetites is what they are leading with, saying share swap deal would create hefty competitor for Tiger brands. SA food industry is cooking up its biggest consolidation in more than a decade. Premier has announced plans to acquire RFG in a share swap deal that would create a food powerhouse with nearly 30 billion rand in annual sales, bringing it within touching distance of Tiger Brands, the country's longtime market leader with revenue of 37.7 billion. I mean, we're talking big bucks here. Cabinet approves a 2.23 trillion power plan. South Africa is set to have a new 2.23 trillion power plan after the cabinet approved the new integrated resource plan on Wednesday, which will determine the country's future electricity mix and investment priorities. Inspector General of Intelligence is suspended. Well, we saw that one actually yesterday. That was Imtiaz Faisal with immediate effect, that suspension coming through. Bank seizes assets from Yusta Estate, and SA holds on to Crown as Africa's top market. So that's the front page of the business day.
Right, let's move on to Daily Dispatch. Now, state to oppose bail for educator facing prostitution charges. And this story, of course, is about a deputy principal who's been accused of running a brothel and trafficking girls from the former Transkei. And then cheers insults as red ants evict home invaders. Tempers flared when hundreds of illegal home invaders in Chicken Farm Township in Reston for several years were forcefully evicted on Thursday. Now, the City and the Eastern Cape Human Settlements Department resorted to contracting the services of the controversial Gauteng-based eviction specialist, the Red Ant Security Group, to enforce that eviction order, and pictures of that as well. At the bottom there, education activist lets his feet do the talking, and at the heart of South Africa's rural education crisis stands Onke Sitwai, who's a man using his footsteps as a call for change. And also Bathurst youngsters are boxing clever, honouring Eastern Cape's cultural heart, and showers threaten Proteas game in Colombo. That's this morning's Daily Dispatch.
Oh, Sowetan is up next. Why task team had to go. Mkunu tells Pali his decision was driven by the need to give resources to other crime-fighting efforts in the SAPS, and suspended minister says cost of backing a unit in one province in the face of serious crime around the country was unjustifiable. Then, of course, chiefs take CAF fights there to Lubumbashi. And then, of course, food shortages continue to hit Tembisa schools. And an ex-runner-up inspires 2025 Miss Soweto finalists. So that's the Sowetan.
And the witness this morning, Mkunu who denies any links to crime syndicates. And now says ordinary citizens, not just politicians, deserve protection. And the suspended police minister yesterday defended his decision to disband the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team, arguing that ordinary South Africans also deserve protection and justice, not just the politicians. Then we also have questions mount after a series of faults, or rather of fatal light aircraft crashes in KwaZulu-Natal. Tragic deaths of 2 young pilots in separate light aircraft crashes in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands on Wednesday has once again drawn attention to safety concerns involving aviation training institutions. And at the bottom, nature shows its heart to the this Clarendon gardener. How beautiful is that? Here on the stump, there's a heart. Oh, yeah, so that's a naturally carved heart on that tree. This is Kasim Chimaliro, who set out to do a simple pruning job this week, and he never imagined he would uncover a symbol of love. Beautiful. Really sweet that. Sharks reload for Ulster and embrace cultural tolerance this Diwali. Some of the stories they cover as well.
Amazing. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the papers with music.